You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Today, this breakfast isn't just breakfast. It might be the first McDonald's breakfast you're having at McDonald's again. This lunch might be a weekly tradition you hadn't had in weeks. And this dinner might be the first one you bought for not just you in a while. Whatever this order is for you, McDonald's will be here to take it.
Get more of the chicken you love with a delicious McChicken sandwich for $1. And for an extra buck, add a refreshing Dr. Pepper. Dining rooms are starting to reopen in certain communities at participating McDonald's. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
In uncertain times, we could use someone to lean on. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma will stand by you with plan options to fit your budget. If you've recently lost your job, had a baby, or moved, you can still get the health care coverage you and your family need. Financial help may be available for those who qualify. Call 855-452-BLUE or visit hereforyouok.com to see if you're eligible to enroll. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
A new year means it's time for a new home network that can keep up. With Cox Internet, you have the speed and coverage your family needs to stay connected. You'll enjoy Cox's fiber-based hybrid network with options for fast upload and download speeds. And if your household has lots of connected devices, Panoramic Wi-Fi may be the perfect fit thanks to its additional control features. Plus, with advanced security on Panoramic Wi-Fi, you'll know each connected device is securely protected 24/7. A whole world of connectivity is yours with Cox Internet. Learn more at Cox.com.
It's Sunday night with Alan Ray. Got a big show for you tonight. What the heck is flying over the United States of America? Special guest Jeff from The Lost Wonder you just heard. Let's do it.
There's lightning striking all over the world. There's lightning striking all over the world. There's lightning striking all over the world. Run.
It is Sunday night. We are live. If you find yourself carousing about the internet and you happen to stumble upon this show, get in that chat room at www.klrnradio.com/chat. Is it backslash or forward slash? I don't know. Just get in there. And you'll be joined with a bunch of miscreants and mayhem makers like Orty, Jeff, who you just heard on Lost Wanderer, and who's going to be on our show tonight. You're going to be with Rex, Mike, and you got, who else we got in there? We got Raptor, of course, he's in there. You got Edams. Who's Edams? That's interesting. A whole bunch of fun tonight. It's been a very interesting past 7 days. Why? We got things flying over the United States of America, Canada, and rumors other places too. We're not sure about. And we're not getting any answers from the government. So here we go. Let's rock this. You just heard him on The Lost Wanderer, and now I got him on my show. Very honored to have special guest Jeff from The Lost Wanderer. How you doing tonight, Jeff?
I am doing scaredly good, and emphasis might be on scaredly this week.
Yeah, it's a bit of a spooky week, not even going to lie. There's things going on that, well, the balloon was one thing, okay, but I still have a lot of questions, and we're going to go back and forth on the balloon to begin with. Number one, my big question is, okay, it started out with, hey, something's flying over the United States. It's been flying over the United States, and all of a sudden we've detected it. And the government's going, well, we didn't, their story went from, well, we didn't know to, well, yeah, we detected it before it hit the United States to, well, it happened under Trump too. And my response was, wait, what? What? This has been going on for years and you're just now doing something about it? What do you think about that, Jeff?
I am amazed that the story's changing with it every day. And the size of that balloon was massive. I mean, the undercarriage was the size of several school buses. That's not something you hide easily. And they're saying it happened. No, it didn't. Why did it fly over?
Exactly.
Why did they not do anything? I like I said on the show tonight, they can detect debris in low Earth orbit that is 4 inches long, but we couldn't find a balloon the size of 2 buses.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Okay, where they're lying, at some point you know they're lying. Where is the lie? Is the lie that all of this very delicate and precise detection equipment that we've been told we've had since the Cold War, is that the lie? Or is the lie that, oh, things are flying over space that we didn't detect? Oh, look, we detected it. Tee. I mean, it's been going on for 4 or 5 years. Which one is the lie? They've told so many stories and they're conflicting. There's a lie, but where is it?
I'm going to embrace the power of all. I think they're lying all the time.
All the above.
Especially when it comes to this, because it really makes zero sense, any of their stories. I mean, even when they said, oh, we can't shoot it down because it's over Montana. That's probably the best place to shoot it down in America outside of northern Alaska.
What are you going to hit?
Yeah. I mean, even if you hit some farmland, you're still going to kill less cows than China does with every other launch. So I mean, where's the harm?
And what I pointed out is this balloon. Okay, size of 2 buses, right? Yeah. That can carry a payload. Oh, I don't know, a couple thousand pounds, right? Maybe something. Oh, I don't know, like a nuclear warhead at 60,000 feet, which flying over the dead center of the United States, like that thing did, could touch off an EMP. And I was
going to say, EMP. The first time I saw that in the news, the first thing that went in my brain is all the shows you've talked about, EMPs, covering your electronics, protecting it. Tell me there's not a more perfect form of delivery other than an alien spacecraft itself dropping the EMP than a non-really powered balloon. It's perfect. I mean, especially when you think about the rods of God technology that, they experimented, we experimented with and all of that. It would be so easy to drop something from that balloon.
And the funny part, it's not a new technology. In fact, the funny thing here, this happened. Now we're going to get to this in a bit. Some of the weird stuff happened in Michigan, but during World War II, one of the Japanese bomb balloons actually landed in West Michigan. The Japanese knew that the air current will float right across the ocean, right into the United States of America, right across where it needs to be. They were sending over balloons in 1945, trying to get them to blow up in different places in the United States. The one that hit in Kent, Allegan County, and this was from Wood TV just a couple of days ago, was February 23rd, 1945. It had exploded before the balloon crashed, which, they had some issues there. They probably didn't know about, pressure and all that at high altitudes. But still, the concept was set back in World War II that could be done. And here we have a modern balloon with, better equipment, flying at 60,000 feet. If you flew that thing over the top of Oklahoma, set off an EMP, you would take out most of the United States of America, Canada, and Mexico all with one shot, more than likely. Because 30,000 feet would do the U.S. in. 60,000 would probably do a heck of a lot more.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. And when you think about the technology that's available, GPS, it's accurate down to what, 1.2 meters, or is it even less now?
I have some issues with GPS. Okay, I work with GPS a lot. Part of my job is asset tracking. And I hate to say this, but we just switched over to all 100% 4G network because they've turned off 3G. 4G network's not as accurate as 3G. In my personal opinion, I don't think it's as accurate at all. In fact, it's a good 25, 30 yards off. Now, listen to me say that, but the 3G was almost dead on. The 4G's kind of it's sketchy. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, I think they substituted accuracy for bandwidth, and you can really tell.
Yeah. And it's really obvious because, I mean, I've actually fielded phone calls where they're saying, yeah, I was told to come move my vehicle. And it's like, no, you can't do that. It's actually inside the shop. Oh, well, it shows out in the parking lot. Well, yeah, it does, but it's not. I fielded those phone calls. So, but nonetheless, I mean, still 25 yards, when you're talking about things like EMPs and bombs and stuff like that, that's that's too close anyway. Yeah,
I mean, even when you're dealing with something, say lasers, that's still a wide enough, or a narrow enough gap that you're going to most likely hit your target or something close to that target. And, as much as it flew over, you're looking at who could it have taken out on the path over.
And then
it's kind of scary.
Yeah, and then what else got released from that balloon?
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, biochem, bioweapons. I mean, and really, like I said, there needs to be one heck of an inquiry because we got to find the truth. Where is the lie? Because there's a lie at some point. We know it. We all know it. If you don't know it, then, oh my God, wake up. But is the lie that we detected it and didn't say anything, that it's been going on, we didn't say anything? Because if that's the lie, and they've known that it was going on, somebody needs to be tried for this because especially after the pandemic and all that stuff that there's still a lot of us going, hey, we think that was an attack from China. There's a lot of evidence that says it was. What else are we going to see in the next, 2 weeks, week, during an incubation period? All of a sudden everybody starts getting some weird mystery sickness. Well, where is that coming from? Well, gee, I wonder where.
I actually, because I love game theorying and just trying to figure out things that people don't normally think of. If it was me and I was trying to do something against the country, I would fly it over the parts of America that may say, I don't know, maybe corn grows the most.
Yep.
And release an agent that will prevent the growth of corn in the numbers that we're used to. How devastating would that be to America if corn growth was halted by, say, 50, 60%?
Or some pathogen that attacks cattle.
Yes.
Or something like that. Right. And so, and we both agree 100% that there was so much danger in allowing that thing to just gently float right down the middle of the United States, where we have most of our sensitive nukes stored and things like that, because, we store them in the interior of the country, so there's more time to launch them if there's an attack on a country. Military bases, things like that. There's just there's so many things that could have happened and still might because of that.
And I hate saying it. Because I'm going to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but we've been right more than we've been wrong recently. If you play it out, why did they not shoot it down? Maybe because it had stuff in it,
and they knew it.
Maybe and they were able to maybe block the signal to release, and they had to wait till it got to over to the ocean before they could. I mean, that is just as believable as we just can't knock it down in Montana. Yeah, yes you can. Yes you can.
But the thing about it is we will never know. Us, the serfs, the peons, the hoi polloi, we'll never know because we're not privileged enough. That's just the thing. And that's the problem with the government, because what they don't realize, the powers that be, I don't think what they realize is they're so arrogant and they live in that bubble, is the more they try to hide things, the more the people like us sit there and wonder about them and fill in the blanks. And probably, even if they came out and said, look, guys, we think this thing had a pathogen in it, so we waited till it got to the other side of the nation, we monitored it carefully, and then we shot it down because we think they're trying to poison us. Well, then there would be an outcry for war, but the government can say, no, we took care of business. They could look like heroes. Why they chose not to, I don't know, but things just don't add up. Now, that's just the balloon.
Yes. That's just a giant balloon that was easy to spot, and we have pictures of.
Yeah. Then, flash forward, and what? Just a few days after that, the one aircraft went through Alaska.
Yes.
And there was rumors that there was another one that went through South America about the same time. Those are unsubstantiated. Yeah, that's your habitability.
There we go.
But we don't know if that's true or not. But that one went through Alaska. What did we have? We've had 3 of them since then? 4 of them since then?
We had that one. We had the one in Canada that Trudeau asked us to knock down, but I don't trust the word coming out of Trudeau's mouth.
No.
Then we had Michigan, and now China is saying it's on alert for something.
And it's funny you said that, because I just ran across that while I was getting ready for this show, listening to you. I went, now wait a minute. And this is on Fox News. It says China claims unidentified object in its airspace, prepared to shoot it down. Now, is this just look, it's happening to us too? Is this just a false flag? Is this something they're making up so that we're not looking at them?
Yeah.
I have questions about that.
I have so many questions because I know the one in Alaska, reports are it was the size of an automobile. And I guess the one in Michigan they're saying was octagonal or hexagonal in shape. Where's the pictures? And you can't tell me they don't have pictures. And if China is seeing something, I talk about China and their spy satellites, and every time they launch 3 spy satellites that are allegedly space and weather satellites. So they're the perfect one to see where is the imagery,
right?
The data, everything.
And the other thing, and I wanted to get into that too, is, backing up a few paces. Let's dive into what the possibility of what these are. Number one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Number one, they're not the same phenomenon that we have seen and recorded over the Pacific Ocean by the Navy.
Agreed.
These are too slow, different shapes, different speed. Their paths are set. These I can pretty comfortably say that 98% these are something that is human made and that is something nefarious that somebody has made. They're
Agreed.
very, very easily shot down. So the whole, they're aliens landing. Now, unless they're very stupid aliens that have very slow aircraft, I'm gonna put a no on that one right off the bat.
Agreed.
Agreed. The jury, and you know me, and those of you listening to this show that have never heard this before, I'm going to reinforce what I believe, that it's all a version of probability versus possibility. Possibly there's UFOs. Yeah, anything's a possibility. If they came out tomorrow and said, yes, there's definitely UFOs, I go, well, there. It's always been possible. Yeah. Probability, my personal belief is the probability of somebody from 20,000 light years away flying around this ghetto rock, scaring the crap out of all of us. I have a hard time thinking that the probability of that is high. Now, that's just my personal belief. You, I know, have different takes on it. What's your take on it?
Well, just UFOs in general. Along the same lines. I don't think the ships would look like what they think everyone pictures them, or if they are real. knowing the distance. I mean, when you look at like Proxima Centauri B being 4.1 light years away, and the one I talked about tonight, Wolf 1069b, being 31 light years away, most people struggle to even fathom the distance it would take for something to get here. So we can rule out a lot.
Right. And by the way, Raptor just confirmed that, yes, there was a South American one too. So.
Oh, wow.
But so,
as weird as it is, I mean, I know for people that don't know me or haven't listened to my show, I joke a lot about being an alien. I really struggle sometimes with that whole concept of aliens being here just because I know the science and the math behind it. It is a lot more difficult than most people understand. That said, stranger things have happened. I will never say never because it's the math doesn't say zero.
And there's one other aspect that of all people on this planet, Douglas Adams pointed out the most logical thing too. And if you don't know, people who live under a rock, Douglas Adams wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. In Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I forget which one it was, but at some point in time, the lead guy in there sits down and sighs and says, "I seem to be having a bad day," which that set of words goes into a wormhole, comes out the other end in some distant galaxy, and they attack Earth because it's an insult in their language. And when they get here, they find out they've made a gross miscalculation and then the size of a molecule, and they get sniffed up a dog's nose.
Yes.
And that was it.
God, and I swear that's book 2.
Is it? I think it's book 2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is too. I guess I got to reread all of it again. But if you think about it, there's always that other aspect we don't think about: size, the definition of life, and all that. And I've said this from day one. We're very arrogant and we're very limited in our perception of what we view life is. Life may be in reality something we've never even thought of, and the aspect ratio of somebody attacking the Earth or visiting the Earth, there might be billions of them here right now. We just don't know it because we step on them every day. Oops.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. I mean, one of my favorite things about the movie Men in Black was the galaxy on Orion's belt.
Right.
The galaxy can be any size it wants. I mean, when you think about the beginning, if you believe in the Big Bang, how small the universe actually was, a galaxy on a cat's necklace is actually probable.
Right.
Now, with these aircraft or these unidentified flying objects or UAPs, whatever you want to call them. Now, I will say I do think, and I'm gonna sound like a little bit of a out there guy. There is a chance that maybe they are probes, just like we send to Mars and Jupiter and Pluto. And I'm not going to say the planet you want me to say. There is a chance. If you told me today that that some Alpha Centauri, Proxima Centauri sent probes out 50 years ago, and they just got to Earth, and they're now launching from wherever they are above the Earth, and are now landing, and now we're shooting. That actually falls into my brain a realm of probability that is above zero.
Okay, in the scale of probabilities, I could accept that a lot more readily than I could accept, occupied UAPs flying around. A probe look what we have done. Just this measly little planet here with a measly little, pretty relatively new human population. We have actually shot a probe out of our galaxy.
Yep. We have 2 interstellar devices right now.
Right.
So we are truly an interstellar species. And I don't think people stop to understand that.
Right.
I mean, yeah, we're still infants in the game. We're still when it's compared to, say, the Milky Way galaxy, it's laughable how short of a distance we've gone. But it's an important milestone, I think. So, yeah, it could be something along that line. But I go back to Michio Kaku, and the Advanced Human DNA Brain Society out of London, I think it is, where they are mapping the entire brain function.
Right.
And Michio, he truly believes that we will have trouble leaving our planet, that we will have to send robots in our form, and we will beam our brain into the robots. And when that robot dies, we still have our brain, saved. And we just move from robot to robot to robot. And all of a sudden you don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about sleep. You just have to worry about energy. And once you're already doing that, energy is not really a problem.
So that's going to be part of a future Sunday Night with Alan Ray episode with a whole bunch of people on a round table. But that's a hint. I just got to get ready for that one.
Yeah, so that one's going to be a deep one. I think I'll take the night off for that one, so you can have the entire evening.
I was going to say that might be 2 hours, and you're joining that one, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I figured so.
So from that perspective, I agree with you. The probability is it's someone on Earth, technology.
Now, here's the big question: why are we just noticing this? Did the balloon trigger
embarrassed people?
Well, the balloon was something somebody spotted, and all of a sudden, there's 350 million eyes staring up.
Yes.
And staring at things like, I don't know. Yeah. And you got a point. Expand on that, the embarrassment factor.
There a lot of politicians took a lot of heat for letting it fly over. Now, I don't know how many people that listen to the show or, follow Twitter or follow the news. There are a lot of imagery of the balloon itself while it's hovering and flying over the United States. I have not seen a single image from any other incident, the 4, the 5, or the 6, how many there actually is. I have not seen single image. In a day and age where people are photo happy, how are we not seeing this? So, as a way to embarrass that, this was a one-time fluke, or, Trump did it twice too, so we're going to put them into it, and we're going to make ourselves look good, and we're going to send out aircraft and shoot down imaginary objects now. And say we're doing something about it, so the people can feel safe in their homes.
Now, 20 years ago, I would have rolled my eyes at you for saying that.
Mm-hmm. I would have too.
In 2023, that sounds perfectly logical in this, especially this administration. It sounds perfectly logical.
Yes. Yeah, and that's isn't that horrible to think about?
It's terrible that we even have to go there, but. With everything that we've just uncovered, everything that these Twitter files and all this is uncovering, and the embarrassment that, and it's not, there's elected officials, it's the bureaucracies that are just getting slathered with all of this exposure that they are as bad or worse than what we think they are.
Yes. And I don't want to leave out the incident in Ohio right now.
No.
With everything that's going on, with people being arrested and journalists being, handcuffed and led away, this is a great distraction away from that disaster, because UFOs and aliens capture the imagination, where a chemical fire killing animals and crops and possibly people is not a good look.
And then those of you who don't understand what we're talking about, and it's amazing to me how many people don't understand what we're talking about. I have people who listen to the show sometimes come up to me and go, what were you talking about when you were talking about this? And I look at them like, what do you mean? You don't know? Those of you who don't talk, there was a huge train wreck in Palestine, Ohio. Palestine, whatever you want to call it, Ohio. And huge fire, huge smoke plumes. They drained a lot of chemicals out. And I don't know, was that a Canadian Pacific or Norfolk Southern train? I never did get that. I don't
remember.
I probably have it in my notes here. But nonetheless, these trains go right through my backyard every day. Every time I'm podcasting, pretty much, they go through my backyard. You can hear them. And they have these same chemicals on them. And I have stood by the railroad track, if I'm out running and they'll catch me and I have to stop and watch them. And sometimes I read the labels on some of these tankers going by and I went, that's going by my house?
Yes.
God help us.
Yes. It's frightening when you think about the things that are moving past your house. I mean, even where I live in the middle of nowhere, Vermont, the train system, I stop and think about how close the train actually is to where I live. Unfortunately, unlike you, I don't live near enough where I can actually hear it, but it's relatively close distance that if something like this happened, there is a chance I would have to evacuate. So it's in a way, I could see this whole incident being a horse's blindfolds to keep us going down the road in a straight line, because this is a bona fide, oh my God, disaster. And if people start paying attention to it, they're going to realize that this is a lot of stuff that isn't thought about often, because it's every day. It's happenstance when something bad happens. I mean, even lately with some of the train derailments, the lack of death in those train derailments, we get this false sense of security. And this is violating every sense of self-security that you can think of, because it is harming animals, crops, people, and large enough swath of land has to be evacuated. It's scary when you stop and think about it, and the last thing you want is a populace to stop and think about it to that degree. And looking at that, and that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. What is this? What is this? Sending jet fighters up, doing all of this. Is it a distraction? Because, and I don't know who said it. It was back in the Reagan era that I heard this. Somebody was on the news, and they said something that has stuck with me for the rest of my life. They said, the United States government excels at distractions. That's why they get away with so much. And that has stuck with me. And they're right. Now, can you hang with me for a little while longer? I want to take a break. We're already at the bottom of the hour. Still a lot to talk about. All right. Well, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Sunday Night with Alan Ray and Jeff. We'll be right back in just a moment.
At the tender age of 3, I was hooked to a machine just to keep my mouth from spouting junk. Ha! It must have took me for a fool, cause they chucked me out of school, cause the teacher knew I had the fun.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $3 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
I'm going to throw this out there. Grouchy thinks he's got the best bumper music on KLRN radio. I think he's wrong. I think I do. Welcome back. It's Sunday Night with Alan Ray. Now, I have to say, I think that's one thing you can say about KLRN radio and all of the shows on here. We usually go for some pretty cool music. That's not even a lie. Yeah. All the shows just rock. Jeff, well, thank you so much for coming on the show. You know, before we even did this, we were thinking, hey, you know, why don't you come on the show? Let's do this. We were talking like half a show, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, right. You get two nerds talking about UFOs, space, you know, conspiracy theories and stuff. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. No. So we should have just.
And I still can't. I can't believe that 30 minutes already went by. When you said it's about time for break, I looked at the clock and went, really?
Yeah, we blew by the 30-minute mark like it owed us money.
Yes, we did.
No, and you're right. Already, you've got the most chill and cool music. I mean, I think everybody in this station just has the coolest music. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I try to keep mine fresh, but the whole dark bluegrass themes and all that, man, the Cyber Chill, you guys got to bring that back. That was so cool. And they had some cool chill music. Got to love it. So those of you who live under a rock who were distracted by that one game thing that was going on and are now just joining us, welcome. We are talking about, of course, what's on a lot of people's minds that's not the Super Bowl. And that's what the heck has been flying over the United States of America and Canada and now South America. We've confirmed that. And now China is out there saying, well, it's flying over our nation too. Do we believe them, Jeff?
No.
We're calling BS.
You want a longer answer on that one?
But more than one syllable, please.
With the way I covered China, I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of its own that came back upon them and they don't realize it. I tried to look at who the players are that could do this. And it is kind of pretty much us in China, because I don't trust Russia. I mean, they can't send a Soyuz capsule up to the ISS without it leaking.
Right.
So how are they going to send all these devices? And with good aim. That's the amazing part is things are just haphazardly happening. But when you look at the locations, the path, there's thought process behind it. They know the jet streams. They know where things are going to fly, and if they don't, they're testing it out at least. So, I don't know. Could, say, North Korea have sent that balloon with the size of the two buses? Yeah, I mean, they've been testing hypersonic weapons, so it's not out of the realm of possibility, but why would they send it to China? Russia, no. I think they would send it more towards Europe than to us necessarily at the moment.
Right.
I struggle to think who else it would be other than us or China.
It's definitely not Iran.
No.
If it was Iran, they would probably just send it over Jerusalem and just drop a bomb on them.
Yes. And I don't think they have enough camos to lift that much weight.
Exactly. So
I'm being banished for that.
Well, it was good knowing you, buddy. Darn it. Every time I get a good friend, I lose them for making comments about Iran. Dang it.
I mean, what do you have any theories about where do you think this might have come from and why? I know I touched on it tonight that China has bases in Azerbaijan, South America, Antarctica. So there are some places that are being hit that they're familiar with, and have bases at. So I do kind of lean toward China, but what is your thought process on this?
I got a couple of thought processes. Number one, my very, very, very first thought on all of this was China. I mean, I don't care who says what. They are our number one enemy over Russia, over anybody. And people who don't wake up and realize that China is our number one enemy are going to have a rude awakening in the next, 5 years, 10 years. The other thought I have, and being who I am, I've sat and I've thought and I've thunk until my thinker was sore, is us.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me at all that is actually our balloon flying over our airspace. Those are our probes flying over our airspace. And because people threw a fit, they needed to do something and do something quick. It's like we have the Grinch running our country. They thought up of a lie and they thought up of it quick. And they're blaming China and they're saying, hey, look, guys, China, look, we'll cut you a deal. You act like you're mad at us for shooting it down and everything, and we'll give you X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if that is our own surveillance balloon flying over. If those, whatever they are, probes, whatever. And that's one thing I want to get into in just a minute is the aerodynamics of what they're describing in the things they're shooting down. But one of the biggest reasons that I don't think it was anything alien is because we shot them down.
Yes.
The probes that are flying over, whatever they are, drones, whatever they are flying over Canada, the United States, if they were alien in nature, no way in heck we would be shooting them down.
Agreed. And I'm going to add on to your process here. And now that I think about it, I'm actually more inclined to think it's our own, only because Trudeau asked us for help, NORAD's help, to shoot it down.
Right.
Now
we're talking about the drones, the unidentified aerial phenomena. We're not talking about the balloon here. We're talking about the UAPs.
Trudeau has idolized and has said so about China's communism and leadership ability and how to control the populace. And all of a sudden he wants to shoot down a possible Chinese asset. That doesn't go with his modus operandi. And there's, God, I hate saying this. There are enough people in America that hates America that I could see do this.
Well, and I don't even know if it's a matter of hating America as much as it is Oh my God, the economy's crashing. Oh my God, we've got, all of this toxic crap spewing out of Palestine, Ohio. We've got chickens dying. We've got Elon Musk bringing to light all of the things that we interfered in as a government. They, everything they accused Donald Trump of doing, they were actually doing. And Elon Musk, throughout his, by buying Twitter and bringing out his own stories, he exposed them with the receipts. The things that the Democrats couldn't provide with Trump was the receipts.
Exactly.
Musk, in front of the whole United States of America, brought out the receipts and said, this is what your government's doing, people, and why are you trusting them? The bureaucracies, the FBI, the CIA, the government officials, and it's not just the Democrats. There were a lot of Republicans doing this too. The whole Washington, D.C. is looking really bad right now. Would it surprise me that all of a sudden they said, we got to be heroes, guys. If we don't look like heroes in the next week or two, there could be riots. There could be insurrections. There could be all kinds of problems. So let's send a bunch of our own stuff up and shoot it down and say, look what we've done. It must be China. It must be somebody. We don't know where it came from, but we shot it down. We're the heroes. Yay, America. Well, Star-Spangled Banner.
To expand on that, you had this week, you had Twitter, the old Twitter execs meeting in Congress, information being released. At the same time, all of this aircraft is being found. Twitter is bought out by the gentleman who is going to get us to Mars. So it is the perfect scheme done poorly of distraction.
Yep.
You couldn't ask for a better – if you were to have a scriptwriter, and I don't know if Hollywood has them anymore because most of the movies in Hollywood suck, but if you were to ask a scriptwriter to write out how to play this out, this is what they would come up with. You have you like I said, you have Twitter in front of Congress. You have, was it Wednesday, the day before the Alaskan incident?
Right.
Speaking of trains.
Speaking of trains, I just said that. Here it comes.
The train actually knocked me off my rails here. You have was it Thursday? There were reports that the Epstein list may be released.
Oh, God, please release the Epstein thing.
You have the incident in Ohio. You have Christine Sinema, or is it no? It was Gabby Tulser. Gabby. Blasting Mitt Romney. And when you look at who Mitt Romney is connected to, he's connected to Ukraine. What is it? His daughter is the head of the Republican Party. You are talking prime real estate for that distraction motive that you talked about DC wants to run.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, to me, it makes more sense. And the balloon might have been one thing. Balloon might have been Chinese. In fact, I mean, they're even saying, okay, yeah, it was us. We're mad that you shot it down. But the other things, God, that just stinks of a distraction because, I mean, what are they? Number one, how does an octagon fly?
Yeah,
something that's octagon shaped. I mean, unless it's got fans underneath it pushing it up, drone type things. Octagon shaped, the size of a car. How's it flying?
Especially at that altitude. I mean, yeah, some fat kid on a beach, at Ocean City, Maryland, can fly a kite that's octagonal in shape, but you're only talking 100 to 200 feet off the ground.
And these are 40,000 feet.
Yeah,
20 to 40,000.
Yeah, not in that range. And what was the one? Was it the one in Michigan or was it the one in Canada that was allegedly moving 20 to 40 miles per hour?
Yeah. I think that's the. I don't think that was the one in Michigan. Maybe I'm wrong because they went from flying patterns over Lake Michigan to flying patterns over Lake Huron really quick.
Yeah.
So that tells me that maybe that was moving a little bit faster.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's slow. That's very, very slow. Now, Chuck Schumer has come out and said that they were all balloons. I just found But do you believe Chuck Schumer? I mean, that's like saying, I mean,
he might as well be in the 1947 Roswell imagery with the quote unquote weather balloon.
Yeah, they were weather balloons, guys. Nothing to see here. He was on Stephanopoulos, and he said that he kind of indicated they were all balloons. But this guy is so out of touch. Schumer is just a bubble-headed moron. I wouldn't believe any. If he told me he's likely to tell you they're made out of cheese. That's how stupid he is.
Yeah, and some people will laugh because I actually believe Roswell was an alien incident. I think it is one of the only Earth has ever experienced in modern humanity. I think it was a fluke. I think they burned up in the atmosphere. Their shields didn't protect them. And scientifically, mathematically, I can make it work in my head. These thousands and thousands of sightings a year, no, not as much. It's the sheer volume of alleged encounters we should have them on photographs. They're not vampires. We can photograph them.
And that's the thing too. Phones nowadays. Phones. Everybody's got a cell phone, and most of the cameras on these phones are pretty darn good.
And they track what they're viewing. So if something's moving, you will see that little box pop up saying, "Hey, there's an object here."
Yeah.
And I know I mentioned on Juxtaposition where I was out one night looking out my backyard, and there's a UFO on the tree line, and I was talking to Orty about it at the time, and I took some video of it, and it's still to this day unexplained. Doesn't mean it's alien.
It just means you can't explain it.
Yeah, it was out of place, doing weird things, and absolutely makes zero sense what it was doing.
And that's the thing. A family member, whom I shall not name because I don't want to get the person in trouble, he actually did a tour of duty in New Mexico. And he was working in an area where there was highly sensitive things. And his only comment that he could probably be allowed to make was, after working out there for 2 years, I can tell you beyond doubt that there is a reason there are so many UFO sightings. We have things flying around that just baffle your mind. And that's the only thing you can say about it. But, you put two and two together. A lot of the UFO sightings, these triangular shapes. Well, what came out? We have F-117s. We have the B-1 bombers. We have things that come out that they're all triangles. They're giant triangles flying around. Okay. Yep. Octagon probes or drones or something like that flying around. Okay. They don't seem like they would be the most. Maybe that's why they were only doing 20 some odd miles an hour, because they're just not all that aerodynamic. But God, 40,000 feet on something that's not very aerodynamic.
That's the part that kills me, is the speed at that altitude. Because being able to stay up at that altitude at that low of speed, there has to be an upward momentum as well. The math just doesn't really work, even with the lack of gravity or lessened gravity on the object. And it goes back to the point where I want to see pictures of it. Why are we not seeing pictures of it?
Yeah, because they released the pictures of those pills that were flying around the Pacific Ocean. Why wouldn't they release these?
Yes. Yeah, I don't get this. This is the part that is absolutely confusing me and making me think that there's nothing actually there. I need data. Give me data. Give me the instruments picking up. Now, I know the one in Alaska, the fighter pilot said they actually observed it, and then a lot of that information has all of a sudden gone quiet. So what was that? And all of a sudden, like I said, Michigan being shut down, airspace, and it was not a small shutdown of Michigan airspace.
No, it was huge. It was like everything. It was everything north of Lansing, pretty much. And
Yes.
I did finally hear. Now, those of you who don't know how nerdy I am, okay, I went out and bought, and I've mentioned this on my show before. I went out and bought it at a Hamfest. I found an old Bearcat scanner. Used to be one of their high end ones. I mean, back in the 90s, it was like a $250 scanner, which was a lot of money back then. And of course, police have all gone to the trunking systems. They're all digital trunking, all that. Aircraft, airports, not so much. And the air traffic is divided into different areas, like Cleveland, O'Hara, which is basically covers Grand Rapids area down, Minnesota, which is north of Lansing, all the way across to Minnesota. And I get most of that on the scanner. And the Minnesota part of it, now that I'm thinking of it, was completely dead. But I heard a couple of weird comments on the other parts of it. Finally, there seemed to be a lot of pilot confusion today. They were stumbling over their words like they usually don't. They were, they're sitting there listening to them. You could tell something was up, but they were trying to be cool about it. But you didn't hear any direct, hey, we found some things, but you could tell that that business was not usual on the scanners. But so we've pretty much, I don't know. I don't know if we've even reached any kind of conclusions. We do know that what's going on is not some kind of alien invasion. Okay, it's not.
No,
I mean,
it's not.
Number one, the big tell is they would not be shooting them down if they thought they were from another world. They would be shooting.
And B, I wouldn't be talking about it.
Right. And they would be shooting each other to try to get to it first so they can get the technology.
Yes. Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah, it would just be an all-out war to try to grab whatever it is out of the sky without damaging it.
Yes.
Where it comes from, boy, I think we've nailed it. I think it's either Chinese or it's our own stuff. I wouldn't put it past either one at this point in time. I wouldn't put it past either one.
Oh, well, and I'm going to reverse Ordy's favorite comment. I'm going to embrace the power of none, that it's all made up. Outside of the Chinese weather.
There
balloon.
could be that too. Until we have substantial proof of everything after the balloon incident. We know the balloon's real.
Yeah.
Everything after that, I want pictures. I want proof. I want to know what's going on. Without that, because it was all, you think about it, all of the shoot downs were in very remote areas. Over Lake Huron, over Alaska. Who's going to be in the northern tip of Alaska to watch them shoot something down?
No one.
Right.
No one.
Yeah. And so everything was remote. Everything was in a remote area. Are they lying? So we got three options.
Yeah.
It's either Chinese, ours, or it just doesn't exist. It's just a big distraction to try to get us away from all of the dirty little secrets that are getting exposed by Mr. Musk.
Yep. God, I'm kind of embracing the none.
I've now that we're sitting here talking about it, it's the most logical. Until they drag something out of Lake Huron or drag something out of the mountains of Alaska and say, this is what we shot down.
Yeah.
How can you believe a darn thing that comes out of this government's mouth?
How many different photos did we have of people taking of the balloon?
Right.
The pictures were everywhere, and yet not a single one of anything else has popped up. God, I hate thinking that it's all made up.
I don't, because I don't put it past this government one bit. After looking all the way back to the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which was all CIA driven.
Yep.
And you gotta, can you really believe anything this government tells you? I mean, Russian collusion. No. We know it was a lie. Everything this government tells you, they can't tell the truth. The truth just can't come out of their mouth.
When the leader of the free world wears his pants backwards, all credibility goes out the window.
Yep. We need proof. We have already gotten back up to the top of the hour.
Wow. Yeah, you were right. We could have never done this in a half an hour.
We could have went an hour and a half. Jeff, thank you so much for being on Sunday Night with Alan Ray. I so appreciate it. One of these days,
having me on.
Man, we'll have to do it again. It was a blast. Not even kidding. I mean, that was a good show. I appreciate it so much. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Sunday Night with Alan Ray. Everybody have a great week, and we're going to get out of here. Everybody enjoy it. Keep it locked on KLRN Radio all week long. You're going to enjoy something. And yes, I mean, it's just so much in entertainment. It's just really becoming, we're really developing into quite the powerhouse of podcasting. But keep it locked in here all week, and we will be back, Lord willing, next Sunday night. You going to have a Lost Wanderer next Sunday night, Jeff?
No, I'm actually, I'm not going to have anything next week. I will be on vacation.
Vacation? You get vacations?
Well, I get credit for it. I stay home and sleep.
All right. Everybody have a great night. I'm out of here. I'm Alan Ray. That's Jeff. Thanks for being on the show, and we will talk again soon.
Peace.
Striking all over the world. There's lightning striking all over the world. There's lightning striking all over the world. There's lightning striking all over the world.